has been gathered for the last few days and is expected to hold a media briefing at 11 a.m. today. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo is in Durban. Let's go to her now for an update on what's been happening and what we can expect. Ayanda, a very good morning to you. So, in theory, we have a list of names for the ANC's National Party. And I just wonder if you could recap, first of all, what happened in bringing up this list and what we can expect today and tomorrow.
Yeah, very good morning to you, Pete, and good morning to our viewers at home. Yes, indeed, in theory, there is a list, but I tell you, everybody who's been part of that process, ANC, NEC members, all tight-lipped on the list, and it's unlikely, Peter, that we're going to get it seems, any time soon. But of course, this meeting started on Friday, as we said, as our viewers would know by now. Friday, the ANC, NEC gathered here at the coastlands, Umhlanga, to discuss, consolidate its list for the provinces and the National Assembly. They started particularly with regards to the national list from 800 names, bringing them down to 200 that had to be finally approved by the NEC. Yesterday, speaking to Zizi Godwa, acting spokesperson for the ANC, saying that it's still going to be a process. Once, yes, they've decided on the names, but there's still going to be that process of offering those that are on the list the opportunity to accept or decline. Thereafter, there's also going to be that very crucial vetting process that also needs to be done. And this is one that the ANC is taking quite seriously, Peter. He said, in fact, we also chatted to the alliance partners, the SABC and Sanko, and they too said that they commended the process and also their participation in this list conference. And it seems from what we gathered from them that they too had that opportunity to put forth their plan, their opinions or comments about it. They said there was quite robust discussions around the names that were going to be chosen to represent the party specifically in the National Assembly, and so they're quite pleased with the process. But they said that when it comes to this vetting process, that it's one that they're going to be also following quite closely and wanting to ensure, as the ANC has said, that it wants to elect leaders that are going to be able to attract votes. It wants to elect leaders that are going to take the vision of the party forward, leaders who have integrity, leaders who are capable, and those that are fit for these positions that they're going to be elected to. They're saying that it's going to be important that they don't want people or voters to see a name on the list and then decide not to vote for the ANC. So yesterday, saying that even if the names was on that list, it was not yet a guarantee. The final guarantee, of course, will be once they've accepted, the nominees have accepted, and also, of course, that vetting process. As you know, Peter, we have been speaking that there were some controversial names that we saw from the provisional lists and from the provinces. Them not wanting to be drawn at the moment as to whether or not we will see some of those controversial figures making it on to that list. But from now, it seems quite unlikely that we are going to be able to get this list anytime soon. It seems. Just chatting yesterday to some of the NEC members who are outside here. As you see, the vendors are also out. So we tried to just chat with some of them just to get a hint as to whether or not their names were on the list. And many of them quite tight. In fact, all of them tight-lipped, saying only that they're happy the process went well, and we'll also have to then wait until the ANC has concluded all its processes with regards to the list, and then it will officially then be open to the public. Of course, there was also that matter of the Northwest, and I think they were waiting to see whether or not there would be any issues or challenges around the lists coming from the Northwest. Nothing yet that we've picked up on. We know that the Northwest province was holding its provincial list meeting yesterday, and there they were going to be nominating for the provincial deployment to the legislature. But in so far, in terms of the national list, issues around the Northwest Northwest, the ANC had said that it was not likely going to affect the outcomes of this list conference. But ANC Secretary, Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte said she could not rule out the possibility of anyone wanting to challenge this list conference. Nothing yet, Peter, as I've said. We will have to wait and see. But today, it is going to be a media briefing. We don't know yet who's going to be addressing us. It's going to get underway very shortly, and the ANC will then be giving us an update on how the list process concluded and where to from now. But also, most importantly, Peter, we know that the ANC has descended on KwaZulu-Natal because of the two upcoming major events that they're going to be holding, that being the January 8 statement on a Tuesday, as well then as the National Election Manifesto launch will be taking place at the Moses Mabhida Stadium on Saturday. There's a huge mobilization program. Tomorrow, the top 6 and the ANC NEC members are going to be crisscrossing. We already do have a plan. They're going to be crisscrossing the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The president expected to go down to Port Shepstone, where he's going to be visiting various communities, trying to at least mobilize support for the upcoming events, but also, of course, encourage voters for the upcoming to register to vote, and of course also as part of the campaigns for the elections for the ANC, Peter.
Ayanda, have you been given any clues whatsoever as to what might be in this January 8 statement? Many will say it's quite an important one, given that the elections are on the horizon, and this unity project is a very important project for the ANC.
No indication as yet, Peter, except to say that, as you said, the ANC has said that it's going to be really an important statement in what is said to not only its members but also to South Africa. You know, over the past couple of months, Peter, that the party leaders through the Tumamina program, they have been crisscrossing the country, led by Cyril Ramaphosa, engaging with various communities, engaging with stakeholders, trying to get a sense of what it is that South Africans want from the ruling party. We know that in terms of the youth, challenges around unemployment and education, where the land issue is one that is still continuing in terms of the economy as well. So it's likely that the ANC, having spoken to the communities, gathered what South Africans want, these are all the points that they're going to be addressing in this very, very important January 8 unity within the party, Peter. As you know, here in KwaZulu-Natal, it's a province that is engulfed by problems, faction divisions, which has led, unfortunately, to political killings. They've said that the unity project is one that is going to be continuing. There are still some pockets of instability in certain regions here in KwaZulu-Natal, and not just in KwaZulu-Natal. We look at provinces like the Northwest. There were still challenges there yesterday in Umhlanga. MK Council coming out and calling for the disbandment of the PEC, and how the PEC of Umhlanga has responded clearly shows that there are still challenges across the country with the ANC. Of course, some provinces greater than others, and these are all matters that the party is going to have to deal with. It has said that it wants to clean up its image. It wants to correct the mistakes that have been that it's made. It wants to now ensure that it's a turnaround for the ANC. And so this January 8 statement is going to be one that is going to be very, very important in what the ANC president, well, in fact, it is a statement of the ANC NEC, what the ANC is promising and is committing itself to the members of the ANC, but also to South Africans. Peter.
That's where we're going to leave it for the time being. We'll give you an opportunity to get ready for this media briefing, which should be taking place in about 11 minutes' time. That's Ayanda Mhlongo, who's in Durban.